Masters Clash, Playday number 3. Let's go, everybody. Go next against Chili Mountain. Another best of 5 series. And, well, this is rank 6 against rank 7. So Go next is currently in 7th place. And Chili Mountain, who from the beginning I said is one of the top 4 teams, is on 6th place. And you might just think, hey, how is that even possible? Shouldn't they be a lot higher? And you could definitely argue that they should be, but they faced off against 2 of the top teams on the first 2 play days. So they played against the Donuts and the Hardos, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm a little bit wrong. Maybe they faced off. No, they played against 30k and against the Donuts. Something like that. Either way, 2 out of the top 3. So they lost both of the games, or both of the matches, even though they won a couple of maps. But therefore, they find themselves a little bit lower in the ranking that you would assume them to be at the end of the season. So we're going to find out today if they can pull it off, because Go Next is definitely an opponent that they have to beat. It doesn't mean that they have to crush them with a 3-0, but if they can't decide the match in their favor, that would be a bit of a problem for their ambitions in the long run. Alderic Pass is the first map, and it was the map choice of Mucke's team, so Chili Mountain is checking this one out. And, well, in this case, we got a Blade playing Sonya as a first log. We got 3 supports banned out, and Medivh on top of that too. So, yeah, Stukov gets homed in on, and the rest, as you can see, as well. Alrighty, so let's see what exactly they can do with all of that, because for now, I'm kind of wondering what we're going to do with the globals. Alderic Pass is a big map, so you can play around a couple of global heroes, like Falstad, for example, who comes in with a very, very quick pick. And there's also, of course, the chance that we're going to see some shenanigans. We've seen some Moro, Abathar, Vikings on this map, like all kinds of stuff. And that could kick us off with a pretty fun one. So, yeah, time will tell. Backhold with the Diva pick here now, too. And as I said, for Chili Mountain, this is going to be pretty important. They need to get some points here. And with points, I mean not only map wins, but they really need that match point. For Go Next, on the other hand, they're already fairly low in the standings. The only team that is currently behind them is Inding for Ruby, so they have something to prove here too. And it's still a situation where Inding for Ruby is now going up against some of the top teams. So those are matches that they're supposed to lose, right? And it gives them experience and time to learn. So once they go up against Go Next, for example, directly, that's going to be a little bit of a highlight too. But either way, we got Varian now being picked. Malfurions, of course, slowly back to business after the recent patches. So with that, we now have the Varian Lock and Malfurion with the Rude right beer afterwards. And that can help them to get the quick kill in. Sonya could technically even go into leap and jump on the target, but if they keep it with that frontline setup, it's a bit more likely that we're going to see her on the Wrath of the Berserker. And on top of that, with a ban on Li Ming, that's already taking some of the burst damage away that we could see. But if a team is playing more around the macro, I would expect it to come from Chili Mountain. So with Falstad already locked in, there's always the chance that they do a little bit more. And, well, let's have a look. Brightwing and Muradin. Alright. Gia on the Dwarf. And we got Banana on Brightwing. So Falstad and Brightwing already taken. And let's see what we're going to get with that. Because right now, they have already 2 globals locked in. We're still waiting for probably another damage dealer here for Azerite. Again, technically, they could also try to play around another specialist or something. But time will tell. For now, it's actually Kelvin and Starzerk set up. And that's the last 2 picks for the blue team. Tychus and Hanzo. Alright, everybody. So, let's have a bit of a look-see what the first setup is, because right now the lineup that we're seeing for Go Next is pretty straightforward. Varian Taunt, Malfurion Root, Tychus with his trade coming in with a minigun, and then Sonya and Hanzo chipping in a bit too. So it's like very heavily focused on the team fights around the prisoner camps, and it's pretty much what we're going to get from them here. Yeah, in addition to that, Azerite as the last pick in our first map, Zeratul. Okay, so that sets us up for Alderic Pass, and with that, let's jump into game number 1. Best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series. So let's get the party started between Chili Mountain and Go Next. Game number 1, Alderic Pass, Go Next against Chili Mountain. Let's get it started. Skynox on Malfurion, Vit on Varian for Go Next. We got Kelvin on Hanzo, Blade on Sonya, and Starzerk is playing Tychus. On the right side of the map, Mako and Falstad for Chili Mountain. We got Banana H on Brightwing, Berghult on Diva, Gia on Murden, and Azerite on Zeratul. And apparently, Kelvin has been a bad boy. He got silenced on his account here. Maybe he told someone that he isn't perfect, and well, in Blizzard world, that means that you are a bad boy and you need to be silenced. Too many snowflakes around these days. So, for now, we got the Emerald Dreams in, and talking about snowflakes, we have a couple of guys already riding some, don't we? At least normally we do. And once again, the quick reminder, don't eat yellow snow, everybody. I think it's Nick or someone that still rides that yellow snowflake. Always a bad idea. That's just frozen pea and you just don't want to deal with that. But either way, now that we got the level 1 talents kicking in, we got straight up our Shadow Hunter setup for Zeratul, meaning that the Might of the Nerazim is going to kick in again later on. On top of that, we got Falstad, as usual these days, with the frequent flyer. Falstad obviously changed, and yeah, I mean, the setup, the old boomerang is pretty much baseline now. And you can on level 7 now spec into other stuff. I mean, we're seeing a bit more secret weapon now because, again, the old boomerang is now baseline. So you can still pick the boomerang talent and it adds a little bit more to the oomph. But it's not quite the same thing anymore, where back in the day your whole thought process was just to go for boomerang, to burn those minion waves away, get a quick hit against the ranged minions in particular and eliminate them instantly. So the hero definitely has changed quite a lot. And is therefore seeing a lot more popularity these days. So we'll see how far the damage output is going to rise on him. But for now, Blade is getting attacked here. And if you expected that the blue team would be the one to run around and try to get kills with Varian, then the red team, Chili Mountain, is currently teaching you very different experience here. They got a similar setup in the sense that they are, of course, capitalizing on stuns, or at least trying to. And for now, we'll see what else they can pull off here, because as you can tell, it's all about Wit and his level 4. The problem that I have a bit is that we're not really getting any counter pressure from Go Next on the macro level. They really just want to force these team fights and then dominate them, and that's a bit of a problem. If Falstad and Brightwing starting to dominate the side lanes, and the experience is going to be tricky for the blue team to have any impact. But there's already the setup. Kelvin is chipping in the damage, just as we're having Root and Taunt connecting. And in this case, it's in the rhythm again, too. Now, all the way up at the top, Blade currently being pushed back. Still has to be careful, since Gia is continuing to rotate from the mid lane up to the top to set a quick gank up and try to have that going. Down at the bottom of the map, Tychus, Kelvin dodging out on the stun. And the Stormbolt build also continuing for Gia with a Sledgehammer. On level 4, he's going to try to complete his baseline quest a little bit quicker for that reduction on the cooldown, and of course also for the Pierce. And Blade goes down. First one to fall in the game. These ganks that we're seeing with the globals are working quite well so far for Chili Mountain. So they're coming in and taking the first kill. And they're looking for kill number 2. They go for Wit. The dwarf is jumping in, and Wit is about to fall too. There's no way he's going to get out of this one. Not even with a heal from Alfurion. They're looking for Starzerk too, and Azerite is already working on the prisoner camp. Starzerk! Make really wanted him, but couldn't get the kill. Alright, nicely done. But yeah, so they can get a bit of a lead at this one now. Can maybe lock in the entire thing too. There's still camps that you can claim, and they're on the job, as is. The problem, of course, is the level 7 talent that is now also incredibly close for Chili Mountain. So if it comes to a fight over the prisoner camp, then yeah, this is going to be a little bit dicey for the blue team. So very likely they're going to let this one slide at some point. But so far they're not making a move. And well, as I said, now we got the secret weapon in. Again, old level 7 doesn't exist in the same way anymore and doesn't play the same role, so now this one's opened up. And one of the things that you can do with it in particular is if you are on the side lane, like Falstad is right now, you get a lot of structural damage in with it, because it's pretty much your ideal scenario where you get actually textbook value out of the talent. In a team fight, it's pretty difficult, even with good mechanics, to get like the full theoretical value out of secret weapon. But if you are just on the lane and nobody is dealing with you and you're able to attack structures directly, these guys cannot run. So you get the max value easily and can burn them down a bit quicker. And since the blue team doesn't have any globals to quickly react to Falstad making a move, it's going to be quite tricky in the long run to deal with him. Especially since Mark is already starting to stack pretty decently, sitting at 14. On the other hand, Azerite, 100 HP as he gets out. But the one thing that you can already tell is that the gap in experience is actually increasing. Falstad is now trying to interrupt anyone who's rotating down, but misses Tychus. Can now go up against Blade though. So with 2 kills under their belt, they're doing pretty well at this point. Okay. I mean, Blade, he channeled his inner Lauber at the beginning of the game and died to the gank at the top lane. But now that we have Mako rotating down pretty quickly, we have their stars are getting attacked, and if Brightwing could have come in just a second sooner, that might have been a kill. I love that Starzerk realizes what's going on and that Zeratul is missing too, because he's already just waiting where exactly he can move between the gate, left, right, and just ensured that there was no problem for him. But now towards the top right, they are trying to catch the prisoner camp. In this case, at least, the minions proved to be quite helpful. And, well, off we go. Quest is completed, the Shadow Hunter is done, and now we're looking at level 10 any second. So, yeah, Blake going for the camp with the rest of the team again, trying to check that one out, and all the way up at the top right, the same thing is happening. This camp you always want to take when it spawns. It's the only camp outside of the boss camps, so you always want to grab it when you can. Level lead nearly on level 10, so yeah, they're just looking way too good here in the early game. And they're again going for the prisoner camp, because right now nobody can really contest them. That's a freebie right there. And Mirrodin is locking that in as Falstad is still at the bottom. Saw it coming, barrel rolls away quickly. And now they can go for with the first raiders and still try to take some of these structures down. And that's exactly what we're going to see in just a moment. So at least the opening was pretty decent. There is Leap actually. They went for Leap. So once that taunt is in, they are really trying to burn the target down. We're going to find out if Brightwing can save anyone that gets taunted and engaged upon by Sonya and the rest of the team. But they are already locking the combo down by simply going for Wit and forcing out the taunt early. So they apply pressure to try and interrupt these potential combos that could happen. And of course, in the meantime, the cavalry is still pushing. It's already in the middle, starting to destroy some of the structures. I gotta emphasize again how important this series is for Chili Mountain. They went up against some of the best teams so far in the league, and therefore they find themselves in the lower end of the standings. So they really need these wins now. This is the team that they're supposed to beat, and it would be quite the blow if they would fall to go next now. And it honestly would shake up the standings completely. But as it stands, at the top, Blade is again in trouble, and there's a kill. With Banana Age coming in and the body blocking happening from D.Va, this is the end of Sonya once again, and therefore, of course, also the end of the fort, as all of the defenders are now gone. That's 3 kills to 0, 1 level lead. Falstad still at the bottom of the map. Might have to move. Nope, Zeratul is the one moving into the middle. Falstad doesn't have to deal with it. But yeah, right now it's a pretty solid advantage for Chili Mountain. And a pretty easy one. So what we're seeing is 13,000 damage, top damage for Sonya. She got a bit of a trade against D.Va topside. Maka is already sitting at 19k though, so he is, at least for now, the top damage dealer. Zeratul didn't get a whole lot to do, as you can see. Zeratul has less damage than Brightwing. It's like, dude, you have less damage than the Fruit Fly. Azurite was looking for kills the entire time and just couldn't. And now he gets taunted and barely makes it out. He's pretty much just moving in and baiting out the taunt. But he's not able to get any damage in. And Banana Age has done more damage than him. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Sustained wins are now in play. And with the level 13 talent, we of course get a bit more than that. The Mending Strikes are now taken too. And the blue team, yeah, they still have the problem that they don't have a lot of macro heroes. So they're trying to go for the camp at the bottom. It's a little bit telegraphed though, because I think that Falstad got a glimpse, didn't he? I thought Maka got an idea of what's happening here. And now that they're seeing Hanzo rotate down and Malfurion in the area too, they definitely know what's happening, but I think it's too late. Blue team is coming in, they're trying to get it, and they're able to take the boss. Nicely done, good route from Malfurion also to stop Gia just before he was about to jump. They still don't have the level 13 talent, and that's a pretty decent push here. Now the mid lane gets pressured as well, since the null camp was taken a bit earlier. But with 13 versus 13, there's now an opportunity. Coming straight in with the Revitalize, and it's party time. Over here, the boss gets burned down. I really was expecting the fight also to break out. Singularity Spike is missing. They're still trying to go for it, but they can't. Leap has still not been used, by the way, at least not in an actual team fight. And while the bot lane is still holding strong for the red team, the mid lane for the blue team has now suffered the consequences of that camp being unattended. So second fort has just been destroyed. Falstad and his boys are going down to the bottom of the map to drop the last one. So the boss was taken by Go Next, but the only result was that they lost 2 of their forts. And now, of course, it's a battle for the next prisoner camp. We got 32 stacks for Falstad. And it is getting more difficult by the minute. If they lose the objective here too, they might start to lose also a keep. It's a bit of a tricky setup now. The Ninja Assassin for Hanzo. Yep. And here we go. Top side, that's what they're currently going for the boss. Easy peasy. Yeah, getting a lot of decent damage in here. The 2 of them can probably handle that on their own. At the bottom, slowly an approach by the blue team to try and get the channel on the prisoner camp. But I think that they can easily buy enough time for Falstad, and so it'll come back down. I mean, especially with D.Va. Look at this shit. D.Va coming in with the missiles and just saying like, nope, we're gonna buy a little bit more time for that. Boss has been taken at the top, and now Go Next is in a bit of an awkward position because they have a choice of either letting the camp go, and level 16 of course soon gonna be ready for Chili Mountain. So if they let it go now, then it means that the top lane is gonna be pushed hard, and Falstad isn't even flying down yet. He's still helping to burn some of these waves down. He's probably now making his approach, and yep, indeed is on his way. And they can now take this. Yeah, there's the early Odin. 16 isn't here yet, but they are going for all the stops here. They try to go for Wit once more. And they still have to stop the camp. And the minions are taking over. Varian has already died. It's 4 kills to 0. 16 to 14. And guess what? The boss is also still doing work all the way topside. So yeah, that one's gonna hurt. Another Stormbolt. Marke incoming. But he can't get that second kill. Not that they need though. They don't really need it at this point. They have another prisoner camp that they can go for. Hanzo is now trying to defend the top, but it doesn't change the fact that the keep is already losing some of the HP. So it's a tricky position for them to be in the first place. It's not really an easy one. And yeah, as it stands, even the camp here gets stolen away. So that kind of adds insult to injury a little bit. Every single aspect of the map is dominated by Chili Mountain at this point. And they're losing way too much. That prisoner camp is taken. We're 12 minutes in. Still not a single... I mean, Go Next has a kill comp. They're looking for Variant Taunt, Malfurion follow-up, maybe even Malfurion ult. But more importantly, that Sonya Leap as an option, Minigun as an option. And they haven't gotten a single kill yet. Brightwing is in trouble though. Brightwing should die. Juked, but that's still a kill. Yeah, Banana Age stayed too long. That one was a bit telegraphed, so the leap might not have connected, but I think there was a lot of frustration as the R button got slammed here. Doesn't change that the keep at the top now has fallen too. Of course, without Brightwing, it makes this push a little bit less impactful than it normally would be. And Falstad is now flying down to the bot lane right away since he's trying to help out with another kill against Blade. And guess what? That one is successful. And once Brightwing is back to business, she can of course global in pretty easily. Arrow is out, there's the Gust, and they're still looking pretty good. Core's obviously started to lose some hit points, but at this map it's not really a big deal, since it of course is going to regenerate the HP. So, yeah, there's that. Still, yeah, in a really good spot here. We got the first kill though, so we got the first kill for the blue team. Now they just need to follow up with a few more. They should probably take care of Wit on the other hand, because he is dead. And yeah, that bot lane is going to be in a bit of trouble. 6 kills to 1, 31,000 damage for Falstad, top damage, and they're stealing the camp again. It doesn't even help Go Next that they now have their own level 16 ready. So yeah, it's rough. Bosses should still be up again, yep, 10 seconds. So they're probably going to make a move for that very quickly. And then they can go for that bot keep. With one keep already destroyed, it means of course that the armor upgrades on the boss are already a little bit reduced on the core, down to 2 out of 3. And yeah, it's kind of obvious what Chili Mountain is trying to do here. Blue team is already slowly making their way over towards the boss, but I don't really think that they can do anything about it. Varian is just now coming back, and then buying enough time, I mean, it ain't happening. So now we're gonna have a push for the bottom keep, and when they can take, if they can take that down, technically they have a shot of gold for the core. 2 armor shields gone. There's a leap after the taunt. Avatar, Gia, he's alive. Brightwing with a heal, the kill, the double kill. It's a triple, baby. Yeah, there they go. 3 down, 4 down. 5-man wipe. Check this one out. This one's gonna end the game. Big team fight here for them. And they just couldn't kill Muradin. Muradin, he didn't die, and then they could get kill after kill after kill. They 5-man wiped them, and now we're going straight for the core. Game number 1 ends in favor of Chili Mountain. A very solid performance here. 11 kills to 1. Nicely done, well played. And Chili Mountain takes the lead in this Heroes of the Storm match as them at the Masters Clash. Congratulations. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Volskaya Foundry. Let's go, Chili Mountain. Going up against Go Next here. It's kind of funny to me that Chili Mountain is a team that has very different map priorities compared to pretty much anyone else. So they like to play all direct pass, they like to go to Volskaya Foundry. Those are maps that are, I mean, more or less disregarded by most teams, or at least most of them would never pick one of these maps before they got some of the oldies but goldies out of the way. We got a Falstad ban even incoming, so apparently Go Next is done with the birdie, and we still have Uther banned out. I mean, this is not quite as big a map as All Direct Pass, of course, but Falstad definitely had a pretty big impact there. And of course, these days, he is just an absolute staple and picked a lot. Now with Lucio also banned, that means that Medivh is, at least for now, still up. Volskaya Foundry, you can still play around an early Sonya if you want, just as one example. In terms of damage dealers, we're looking, for example, also at Tychus again. But more so than anything else, it's the front line that really matters, and of course what Medivh is going to do, and they are banning Sonya instead of Medivh. And the thing is, of course, that Make is very happy if he can play his Medivh too, and here comes the Malfurion first pick, and yep, that could get nasty real quickly, because Medivh is up, and on Volskaya Foundry that might be a quick pick for Make if he locks that one in. So we'll see what they can do with this, because this one is gonna get real interesting. If Make lets that slide, a Medivh pick, then it could be an interesting draft. But there's Chromie, there's Diva, okay. And how do they follow up on the Malfurion pick? It's kind of funny that Malfurion is just with a few changes now all of a sudden in the first pick position again. Before that, nobody would have touched him with the 10-foot pole pretty much. Yeah. And let's see. I'm waiting for that Make Medivh, but I think now it's going to be banned out on the 3rd rotation. So we got Cassia and we got Johanna both claimed, which means that Kelvin can start stacking. Medivh very likely going to be banned by Go Next now. Would be a bit surprised if they would allow that to be taken. But yeah. Okay, the Space Goat is in. I mean, they're targeting Blade a little bit. He loves to play his Sonya. Now we got Urel also banned out. Another hero that he plays a lot on the side lane is, of course, also Deathwing. Blade is locking that in quite a lot. There's the Mei ban instead, which means that Medivh is still up and could technically be taken. Volskaya is maybe not like the map where you normally play him, but still. He's pretty much nasty anywhere that you can lock him in. So let's see what Chili Mountain has planned this time. Because the setup for the last map worked really, really well. Maybe also because the blue team decided to not go for any globals at all and had pretty much not nearly as much map control. There's Bananas Ana. And Blaze is in too. So we're going to see the Blaze main tank setup with Diva at the side. And Make can still adjust on the last pick to whatever is taken here. Now, of course, we would have probably seen a Medivh pick already, if not for the Johanna pick. If you instead take Varian again, then Medivh's shield is worth so much. For Nubarak, pretty much the same is true. So anytime you see one of those killer comps, Medivh gains even more value than previously. But of course, you also want to see what your opponent does around potential portal control. Chen and Zarya, so already a strong 4-man that they can use to barrel through one of the lanes and control also the checkpoint. And that leaves us with Make on the last pick for the team to set this one up for game number 2 of this best of 5 series. And let's see. I mean, on here in Volskaya, they already got some nice sustain for the fight. What is Make going to play? This is the map where he also plays Mephisto a lot, of course. And there he is. Mephisto. Mephisto and Chromie. Double mage. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one. And Anna doesn't even know what the nano boost first here. So Volskaya Foundry is the map, everybody. Let's go straight into game number 2. Chili Mountain in the lead against Go Next. Let's find out if they can lock in a second victory on our second map of the best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series. Game number 2, Go Next against Chili Mountain. Volskaya Foundry is the map, and on the left side we have Skynox on Malfurion, Wit on Johanna, and Kelvin is playing Cassia as Blade locks in Chen, and Starzerk is on Zarya this time. On the right side of the map, we got Maka playing Mephisto, Azurite on Chromie, Berghult on Diva, Gia is playing Blaze, and Anna played by Banana. Okay. Yeah, let's get the party started. Double mage is being set up. We got Mephisto, so Mako was the one that always played the hero either here or on Infernal Shrines. A few others have tried to emulate that, but he's pretty much the only one that consistently plays him every now and then whenever he sees an opportunity with the draft that they are trying to lock in. Again, there's a little bit of blocking that you're seeing on the minions. Obviously, not something that you can do really too well in Heroes of the Storm. Doesn't quite work that way. Much more effective in Dota 2, for example, where you can do that quite a bit, and minion blocking plays a much bigger role. A couple of early stacks coming together for Cassia. She's going to be the one to really watch out for in the late game. This is a map where you can get tons and tons of stacks on your level 1 and really lock the damage in on the Lightning Fury. I mean, we've seen multiple times way beyond 100 stacks for her. So that's some significant damage in the late game, and the longer the game goes, the better for her. And at some point, you're just murdering. Absolutely murdering. But, well, either way, well, Wit is getting attacked, and oh, that sleep dart. Kelvin is eating the sandblast that Wit is able to survive, but yep, that could have potentially been a kill. I don't think that they expected the sleep dart to hit there, and Banana was like, guys, please, don't underestimate me. Have you seen my Ana? They're banning my Ana all the time. So, yep, off we go. Kill opportunity, a bit missed out. But it's, of course, now at the 1 minute mark. Time for the turrets to be taken. The first 2 already locked in. And the teams are going to prepare for the first objective. You want to hit level 7 around the objective, around the checkpoint. That's what they're all aiming for. It's a bit of a question who takes the first healing beacon up at the top. So that's what you're going to try and check out. And, of course, stacking is going to be vital here, too. We got the new habits for Blaze, so he's looking at the unstoppable frames, played in the main tank position for the team at this point. In addition to that, we got the accumulating flame here for the Panda. And, yep, Berghult rotating between the lanes a little bit, as we're already seeing Banana Age. With a snowflake over here, I told you, at least it's not a yellow one. It's already running around. Anna needs a different mount. I would suggest the Money Pig. The Money Pig is a classic, it goes with everything. It's a little bit like Gal's theme song. Oh, words today. Another cup of coffee. It's definitely needed. But yeah, so far 0 kills. A little bit of wrapping around. We got the camp at the top right taken. On the top left, the blue team is now going for the same thing. The objective announced, and that is starting to heat things up a little bit. Because now we're going to have them fight for not only the healing beacon, but also the early level 7, of course. And yep. There we go. Here comes the play straight up for this one, and I don't really think that the blue team is gonna go for it because Chen isn't here. That old drunk is still down at the bottom of the map. Is trying to get them some extra experience, I suppose. And also the early level 7 would be kinda neat. Can't really do anything about that. By the way, the combo here, we got the Furious Spark in, also the Static Barrier taken right away. And topside still Starzer, Kelvin, Skynox, all on the rotation. And it's time for the first objective. Experience for level 7. I don't really need a whole lot anymore. Gia misses the engage. But then again, they also have the extra item. But Chromie is dead. Gets slapped around a little bit. But she likes that, so I don't know what to tell you. She was always a little bit... exactly, that's the word I was looking for. But now with the level 7 talents in and Chromie down, the blue team has taken control. So they are looking pretty good, at least for objective number 1. A little bit better than the first game, where it took them, I don't know, 15 minutes nearly to lock a kill in. So that's definitely a better start. Still, there weren't really a lot of items that have been used by Chili Mountain up at this point. They got a pretty snappy kill on Chromie. Sleep Dart is out. With Zarya, of course, you also have a lot of sustain here. Marcus coming in and talking about sustain and Zarya. She's dead. That's a kill. Chili Mountain trying to go for the quick kill. Gets it in. And now Blade is on the run as well. And yep, I don't know, but that was a bit of a shutdown. So 73%, that's at least what Go Next walked away with. And of course their camp is up again, which they use immediately to lock in another turret. Skynox is still holding on to the first one. And over to the right side, we got Banana H with the Pew Pew taking this one too. Okay. But yeah, it's time for the party over here. Let's go. Who's locking in the first protector in this game? Yeah. They only need another 27% here, but Chromie is just firing from the back, and Macke is chipping in with even more Mephisto damage. There's already the first turret on the ground. Gets burned away by Chromie very, very quickly, and Chili Mountain responds in kind. They're dropping both of their turrets and the healing beacon. The entire arsenal is deployed here as they're making a play for objective number 1, and they're locking it in. Protector has been taken. Okay. Nicely done by them. Of course, now the big question is, what exactly can they do in regards to the top fountain, which is normally your goal. First of all, you want to go through the wall in the middle, and then normally you rotate towards the top side, but they are going for a straight move down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to take the fountain down and prepare for objective number 3. Second one is, of course, spawning top side. So instead, they move down to the bottom of the map, and they're saying like, yep, fountain down, mission accomplished, and here we go. Level 10 abilities are ready. We got some top keg plays incoming. The Falling Sword, which is still used, of course, as a bit of a counter to Ana. I mean, it's not really, again, it's Heroes of the Storm. There's very little rock, paper, scissor mechanics that are working in the game. There are always a couple of tools that you can use, and they might be a bit more dominant against certain heroes or setups. But generally, it's not as much a hard counter as anything else. But with Falling Sword on Jojo, you can put a lot of pressure on Ana. She has trouble getting away from Jojo, so when you start using Falling Sword into the backline, Ana is struggling quite a little bit to stay away from that and then get the heal through. So it's something that you will see actually a lot, and I mean, we have seen that over the last few months quite a bit. Depends, but we'll have to see how Banana H is reacting to all of that. There's obviously a few heroes like D.Va that can still safely create some space for her whenever that's the case. But for now, they're still attacking around the healing beacon at the top. Cassia is also stacking, is currently sitting at 35 stacks, as you can see. So, yeah, it's time to party. Top keg plays as Chen is trying to barrel out. Nano boost on Chromie. And the ult of Mephisto not connecting here. They're trying to go for Blade, and the Panda gets out. Wow. Lot of fighting and no kills. I mean, Skynox is even dropping the Tranquility here at this point. But that was a weird fight. There was a lot of attempts to finally get a kill secured for either one of the teams, and it just didn't work out for either one. So now we got the 40 stacks for Cassia. Her damage output is at 14,000. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about yet. She's not on the level of Chromie at this point, who's already sitting at 19k. But it's not too shabby, and it's a pretty decent start with the stacking process. Now, we haven't seen a fort fall with the first protector, but at least the bottom fountain has been destroyed. Next objective is going to spawn topside, so that's what they have to focus on next. And until then, it's mainly about attempting to get an experience lead, and of course more so locking in your items and making sure that you're getting all of those. So that's going to be pretty important here too. Now, Wit is already starting to move around here. Gia is coming in. We got Maka up at the top, all with the items. Wit also with a Skinergy, by the way, even though Horse is, like his mount, is perfectly suited towards the skin that he's using. And yeah, we know what he dropped his stimulus check on. Berkult already quickly moving out of the fight here. Yeah, they're still trying to go for Chen, the Panda. Oh, I told you, honestly, drinking is gonna be the death of him. The second that he starts to go for the bottle, he gets immediately locked down by Macke and by Blaze, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Eventually, this is gonna happen though. Eventually, he's gonna fall to exactly that. I mean, either way, with the level 13 talents now ready for both of the teams, the party is of course continuing. We got the Shard of Hate now on Mephisto, and yep, up at the top the objective gets announced, so it's time to go for it. Let's try and see what they can do out top side with a little bit more of a play. But, well, maybe we are going to see some kills before that even, as they're starting to go down to the bottom. Banana H gets attacked, barreled. There comes the falling sword, but Ana is still alive. Banana, and he's dead. Couldn't get to the bunker. They're looking for the counter kill, and Zarya is dangerously low. Completely split from Malfurion 2, who gets zoned and killed, and Zarya is gonna die. That's a double kill for Chili Mountain after they initially lost Ana. Yeah, the support is down. There's a quick next play for Blade, but, well, can they somehow get him? That doesn't seem likely. Blade is getting it. Oh, well, actually, Blade is gonna fall. He went a little bit too deep there. They were trying to get the kill into the back line, but that didn't work. And, I mean, keep in mind, this is all happening without a support for Chili Mountain. They don't have a support here. They're like, healers? What is that? What is that? What do you need that for? There's a quick jump out as Wit is getting his cooldown back, and he definitely needed that. Kelvin, on the other hand, gets slowed, and he is not looking good here. Wants to get the kill, and he gets it against Mephisto. Nice! Gets the counter kill. That's how you do it, right there. Realized that he would fall eventually and said, okay, guys, I'm at least going to take one of them with me. I'm not going to die for nothing here. I'm going to bring that back. 5 kills to 3, and it is brawl time. Oh yeah, slightly inexperienced now for Chili Mountain. But we are gonna have a fun battle for the top on our hands, I suppose. Down here, the item, the turret is still taken by Go Next. That's not too bad. And not that far behind. Game number 1 was... They got a bit of a beating on the first game. But this is really, really different. This is very, very close. And nearly an even experience. They're losing, of course, a lot of ground at the bottom now, but they're doing it so that they can lock in the healing beacon at the top. So they're sacrificing the fort at the bot lane. The fountain is gone anyways already, and that's usually what you're trying to protect, since you want to get ready for the team fight around the objective. But since the next one is wholly focusing at the top, they wanted to get the items so that they have a better chance in the fight itself. Could result in the fort being completely destroyed, and honestly it should. But still, if they can lock in the second protector, they probably can make up for it. And of course, experience is now in for both of the teams to drop an additional talent into their hands. So it's all about level 16 right now, which gives us even more synergy on Maka's build with a static field now, full on Lightning Nova spec by him. And that allows them to go for the fight at the top, where Blaze has already started to take position. Still a little bit of a poke in the middle. Kelvin is going for it here, but they need to face the music topside eventually. Blade is pushing this out with his panda. But yeah, do they really just try to push this? That would be a little bit of an awkward setup. If they are really just using all of the time that they spent now to get items and experience to push the bot lane, that would be kind of awkward. Bakul is moving back. There's 3 of them now. Zarya is moving in 2. At the top side, we only have Blaze and Jojo. So I'm not sure how much they can really accomplish here, especially since Chili Mountain has reacted to the aggression and has rotated 4 heroes down too. So, yep, that is getting a little bit crazy right now. And, yeah, Gia can lock this one in. 92% already. They're 5-manning the bot lane. If they can get a kill, then maybe it's going to be worth it for them. But it doesn't really look like they're going to get a whole lot. Then again, Chromie gets healed. The Panda with a top keg plays. And they just can't get it. They can't get the kills. The Protector is already locked in by Chili Mountain. They got it at the top. And Gia is just pretty much soloing the top lane. So all the effort that Go Next made at the bottom of the map didn't really do anything. They got some stacks together for Cassia. I think that's the most positive thing that we can say about the situation. But they haven't taken any structures down. They weren't able to take the fountain apart. They haven't taken the lead in experience. And now it's a Protector and a 5-man push at the top that they gotta face, which is likely gonna result in the fort being destroyed. Either way, there's already damage dished out plenty. And yep, Jojo's position has also been found. Now, the one thing that I still want to say is, look at the stacks on Kelvin. I talked about this a little bit early on, and we're only 13 minutes into the game, but he's already sitting at 75 stacks. So, if that continues, he's going to have some serious damage on the Lightning Fury. But they also are going to need it. I mean, 77 stacks now, that translates for him into 35,000 damage. That's easily top damage for the blue team. But it's, of course, nothing compared to what Chromie has. And honestly, it can barely hold a candle to the damage output of the red team in general. There's a lot of heroes that have crossed over there. But again, you're scaling into the late game. It's kind of what you're trying to do here. So that's what they are now attempting. And once again, the objective not having an impact. I mean, this is the second objective of 14 minutes in and they couldn't get a fort. One of the reasons why a lot of the players dislike Volskaya Foundry. It's very scripted in the way that it plays out. It's also true for some of the other maps, but the objective here is it's not really impactful. Granted, there are times where we are seeing a team completely crushing with an early objective, but generally speaking, this is the norm, that it's very easy to defend against it, and it doesn't really do a whole lot. Double item, yeah, Skynox here, not dropping the healing beacon. Balls of steel on our boy Malfurion, yeah, nicely done. Was not afraid to hold on to that a little bit longer. Now they're trying to make a play for Make with a falling sword in the engage, and Make is down. Cassia comes in with a pew-pew. The Kek isolates Blaze as they are pushing the rest of the team out. Now they're even trying to go for Azerite down here. But that's 5 kills to 5. And Go Next, ladies and gentlemen, is getting closer and closer to potentially win a map. 91 stacks now for Cassia. And as I said, she's scaling. Our girl is doing some work. And this is a top fort that is gonna fall. Down at the bottom of the map, Jojo is pushing it out. That's an early level 20, which means cooldown reduction for Johanna on the ult, which is of course gonna be super impactful too. And this is gonna be a bit tricky for Chili Mountain, depending on how much ground they lose right now. And of course, you're trying to go for the fountain here eventually. Yep, already a little bit of a jump, trying to steal that away. Gets a bit of a cooldown reduction. It's down to 10 seconds immediately, so you can just hop around like a bunny. And they are stealing another one of the turrets away. Item control, super important on this map. And that's what they're kind of doing here. Yeah, go for the fountain, create a little bit of space. There's no level 20 yet for Chili Mountain, so they're very unwilling to fight over this. And they can simply fall back. And that gives us a lead in structures for Go Next. Go Next is now ahead in structures, ahead in experience, and has a good shot for the third objective, and already wants to open up the bot lane a little bit. Has to be careful now, because if Medivh lands a good ult, then from behind the gate, that would be a problem. And they are trying to force the issue here. Zarya's already moving away. Tranquility has been used. Yep. And the Panda with the Kek play against Ana. Ana's a little bit far out here. Top Kek plays. Ana low. And they get her. The bunker was too late. Now they try to go for Koromi, who might survive. But not really. So she's dead too. Nearly 100 stacks now for Cassia. Zarya goes down, so at least there is one counter kill, but it doesn't seem like Maka is going to survive this one. And now they're even making a play for Gia, as Jojo's just jumping around to the fight with one Heaven's Fury after another. Easy play straight up for the keep. Go Next is firing on all fronts now in an attempt to take this game. And they're going to try to go for core here. Unless, of course, it gets slowed down a little bit by D.Va, then they might decide that it's not time to go for the core, but retreat after they take the keep. 20 seconds for Ana, 28 for Chromie. Are they going to make the play? And the answer is maybe. I mean, don't have that much time, honestly. They might be able if they make a concerted effort here. But this is not a given, because now D.Va is moving in, but they get the kill against the pilot, and that pretty much seals the deal. That's exactly how I need to do this. And Go Next, taking a map here for Chili Mountain, that is a bit of a problem, honestly. That is huge for Go Next, and it is a bit worrisome for Chili Mountain for the reasons explained earlier. So we'll see how the series ends, but that is making this entire best of 5 Heroes of the Storm match a lot more exciting. Cassia's down, they go for Skynox, Core's at 14%. They're trying to lock the victory in with the 6% that they have, but they get taken out at 4% on the core. All of them died. Zarya wasn't here. And that is a huge problem. Okay, 4% on the core. It's an interesting situation now for Go Next, though. And also for Chili Mountain, because what is Chili Mountain now going to do? Are they going to try to end the game? I mean, they kind of have to. They don't have D.Va, and they got mages, and mages are not really the best heroes to take down structures. You want to have some auto attack damage there too. I mean, depends a little bit on which mages we're talking about. But given how quickly they're burning the keep down, they might just be able to pull it off. Zarya, in the meantime, is just simply saying, I can do this, and I don't think so. This is not happening. Can they actually win this game? That is insane. Go Next was so close. Guys, that would have been such a problem for Chili Mountain, but they didn't have enough, and now they are losing the game. What a finish in map number 2. Chili Mountain with a victory against Go Next and Volskaya. Unbelievable. This should not have happened. Game number 3. I feel bad. I do feel bad for Go Next. Yeah, I don't know. I felt initially that they would move back after the keep, and I was like, well, maybe they got enough time. They could make it work. Then Diva bought a bit more time, but then she died too. And at that point, going for the core wasn't a bad idea. If they executed a bit differently, then it's a win. Unfortunately for them, Zarya wasn't here. But I have to say that I feel bad. I have to stress again how important it is to win maps. Even if you lose the match, it doesn't matter as long as you lock in a couple of maps. We will have multiple teams at the end of the season that will be on even footing in the standings on the exact same amount of match points, where only the map points are gonna make the difference. And for Go Next, it would have been a huge victory to get one map here already, and maybe with that momentum you can carry that into game 3, into potentially game 4, maybe game 5. So now that they lost on the second map in that fashion, it just feels bad. It is a bit tricky. So we'll see. We'll see if they can recover, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Now here in Cursed Hollow, we got a ban on the Panda, so that's already hinting that they were really affected by the top cake plays, isolating Ana the entire time. Falstad gets still banned out though, so as you can tell, there's no global. We have Medivh is up again. Marke has a chance of picking him. Malfurion as a first pick though, instantly. And of course, this is another big map, so what exactly is Chili Mountain going to do here? They could go for the Medivh pick. We have also, I mean, Sonya's still up, she wasn't banned out, so you can brawl around with her a bit more too. Curse is another huge map where you can also play around a couple of globals. There's the Sonya pick. And do with it, and there's the Brightwing pick. Okay, so big map, so they make the adjustment on Brightwing, so they have a global now. They got Sonya for the brawling, as I said. She's a pretty important one too. You can still later on spec into Medivh if you want, in order to empower Sonya a little bit further, allow her to go deeper, provide the shield, provide the portal. I guess at this point, one of the reasons why they're also waiting out on a potential Medivh pick is simply because they want to see how much additional portal command we have. Because the good thing about drafting Malfurion early is, of course, that even if you go up against the Medivh, if Malfurion just always drops a root on the portal, it makes it a lot less impactful. So portal control is everything when you're playing against Medivh. It's one of the reasons why you see a lot of Junkrat picks against him for the mines, why you see Lucio because you can boop a target away, and Malfurion for the roots. So those are all like soft counters in the sense that they take a bit of the value away. Vikings get banned, so no time for shenanigans over here. And on the third ban for Go Next, what are they gonna lock away now? Because with the Nubarak and Malfurion, you're going again for one of those oldies but goldies, where you're trying to go for a quick kill. It's a little bit similar to the variant draft that they had earlier. Don't want to deal with Zeratul here, but if a Nubarak goes for good engage, Malfurion for the follow-up, you can still try and get the kill. And yep, there's now the question. Do they go for Medivh to counter that with a shield? Or are we going to see a totally different setup for them again? Maybe playing around the map a bit more as they did on All Direct Pass. And with the 2-0 lead in their hands, this could of course be the last game of the series. For Chili Mountain, that would be a huge step into the right direction if after losing 2 matches in a row on Playday 1 and 2, here on the third Playday, they are now able to finally get a victory in. And I explained the situation, that in the first 2 Playdays they went up against top 3 teams, so tricky for them to beat, and despite the fact that they were able to win some maps, they couldn't decide the matches in their favor, which is why they find themselves a bit low on the standings right now. Yeah, Muradin, he's at this point locked in together with Hanzo, so they have also some extra control over the boss. And Tracer plus Urel. Okay, we got a Tracer, we got Tychus, Urel and Nubarak. Koreans love to play that too. And especially with Tracer now, what is Maka gonna pick? Tracer is gonna try to make that move for Hanzo whenever she can. But Maka, is he gonna chip in some additional damage? Are we gonna see a more of a passive stance for him? And with Cursed, I mean, again, big map. Can play around also boss control. And there's Greymane, talking about boss control. You can chip down the structures pretty quickly, but for boss, Hanzo plus Greymane, they are annihilating those. So if they can make a play for boss, together with Sonya, Hanzo, and Greymane, they can get this quickly and then maybe rotate the map and go for the second setup. Either way, Cursed Hollow coming in. Third map in the best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series. So guys, let's go. Let's jump straight into the next match between Go Next and Chili Mountain. Game number 3. Go Next against Chili Mountain. Still can't believe that this is a 2-0 at this point for Chili Mountain. But yep, we are on Cursed Hollow on the left side. Skynox on Malfurion. We got Kelvin on Tracer. Starzerk on Tychus. Wit on Anubarak. And Blade is playing Urel. Yeah, for Chili Mountain, this time we got Mako on Greymane, we got Banana H on Brightwing, Barkul is playing Sonya, Azurite on Hanzo, and Gia on Muradin. Okay, so with this, we are ready to rumble, good to go, to see who is winning on map 3, if it's going to be a 3-0 victory for Chili Mountain, and a big step towards the top 4 in the standings. Or if instead Go Next is now saying, well, we might have lost game number 2, but we are not giving up on this one yet. Definitely showed on the second map that we can win this one, so let's go for it. Also press the advantage for Tychus. We got an auto attack build for him. Not going into the usual grenade setup here. And yep, there we go. Press the advantage, the 1-2 punch for Tracer. And down at the bottom of the map, Blade is currently sitting tight doing his thing. All the way up at the top. Yeah, they're trying to intercept the rotation. Hanzo was nearly caught there. But yeah, he's still Gucci. Went into the target practice on level 1. And Blade is also now just moving around. I mean, again, it's just like trying to catch heroes on rotations as they're starting to move around here a little bit. And yeah, let's see. It takes quite a bit, I would say, from the blue team's perspective to really just like let game number 2 slide, not think about it, and fully focus now on the third one. But that's exactly what they need to do if they want to lock in not only a map win or 2, but maybe even a reverse comeback, which is always a total nightmare when you're playing in a best of 5 series. But again, we'll see. For now, we have the camps again taken. And Sonya gets even chased a bit. They're playing super aggressive. I mean, they are out there right now. And it's a double camp approach by Chili Mountain as they're going for Siege Giants and Bruiser camp at the same time. Wit and his boys were thinking about invading and then decided against it. It's of course one of those risks that you can take, but if you do, then you better make sure that you win or you're going to be way, way behind your opponent. Now they have their own camps to think about, and that's what they're currently doing. Jumping straight in for the Bruiser camp, all the way down to the bottom of the map. Graven is already pushing the lanes out. And yeah, that's something where they gotta be careful, of course, as well. Because if Greymane is alone on structures, especially with some assistance through the Siege Giants, then he is just going to murder that. Yeah, magic spit. Every single time I see that talent, I'm thinking to myself, Brightwing is already disgusting enough as is. I don't need that fruit fly spitting on me on top of that too. It's already bad enough as is. Either way, big fight in the middle is already happening. Alright. Couple of initial stacks coming together for Tychus. Not a whole lot, but still. We got also the bed of barbs now for Anubarak. And thanks to the camp, they can push this out a little bit further. We still have Urel and Greymane fighting it out. And that Space Goat is fighting back. Greymane is looking at this and is like, ooh, food. And, well, Urel is very quickly teaching him that Space Goats are a little bit tougher than their earthly brethren, so now the mid lane gets pressure too. Go Next definitely seems to be a bit more defiant in this game. And just saying, let's go boys, we can do this. We had a second map that should have been ours, but at least let's lock a victory in here. With Sonya and Greymane both making a play for Tychus. Starzerk nearly went down, but they're still looking good so far, and they opened the entire wall up here in the middle. So that's a pretty good start and structures. It's nothing crazy, but it's one of these small things that will add up over time if you can repeat them a couple of times. And they're not letting up on it either. They're trying to go straight up for Market, turn it around, and that's a kill on Brightwing. Now, to be fair, Gia rotated towards the top and has now channeled the tribute, but they are still pushing the middle. Apparently in an attempt to get that fountain destroyed, but it's not really that much of an option now that the minions have been taken apart. I also couldn't do that. But, well, here we go. There's another quick setup against Muradin. Stormbolt, and Tychus is dead. Tychus down, killed by Hanzo. It's a little bit disappointing, by the way, if you're like a StarCraft veteran and then a guy with a bow takes you out. I mean, seriously, hipster beard and bow, and he just comes in with a stupid arrow like pew, and Tigers just dies. First they took his cigar, and then they took his cojones right here. Now he dies to a bow boy. Also, talking about dying, Blade at the bottom of the map, he might die too. And yes, the GOAT is dead. That's 2 kills now. Back to back for Chili Mountain. Probably will have to... Actually, now with 8 seconds left, they might not have to give up the tribute. I thought it was about to spawn. But that's a bit more time that they can buy. Nubarak with the play for Maka. Sonya's rotating in. There's Hanzo now too. Yeah, but Starzig is on the channel. I think they're creating the space. It should be enough for him. Maybe not. They needed to eat that shot. Urel is now moving down to the bottom, so not even going for this one. They're actually giving it up. Instead, they're trying to come in for Sonya, but Banana H quickly used Brightwing to help out. And there we go. 2 kills to 1. And down to the bottom of the map. The Space Ghost is ready. Meh. Trying to go for the wall here, and for the little piggy that just came riding in with Sonya. Yeah, red team, half a level ahead. 1 kill ahead. We got the play for boss, and that's a bit of a ballsy one, but then again, Greymane is up at the top. Okay, they're going for Muradin, and goodbye Dwarf. Yeah, Muradin is down. Little Gimli over here didn't make it this time. And that was actually a neat play, because they were worried about level 10. The reason why Go Next went for the boss at this point in time was that they were worried that the red team would lock in the level 10 and then go for both bosses. So, yeah, now they at least take 1. Urel is already at the top, double checking what's happening here. Keep in mind that Muradin is still down, but they don't have level 10. There's no way they can fight this. I don't really know what's going on here, but if they are going in for this one, that is pretty much just honorable Sudoku right there. Yeah, and that's, yeah, that math just doesn't add up. So, half a level, a little bit less, and then they're gonna have their own level 10 and can finally go for a battle. Boss is already doing some work down here at the bottom of the map, and I'm really happy that they decided to not go for it. But they have to go for the tribute, because 2 are in the hands of Chili Mountain, and so they need to make a play here. So, it's time to party. And look at this, the sacred ground for Urel. Oh, Muradin. He just came back and he's dead again. Brightwing was shut down. They go for backhold. And that's the Sonya kill. Right here. Nicely done. And now they're going for way more than only a kill or 2. I mean, damn. That's a play for Hanzo. He nearly fell. Starzog is already zoning them a little bit. Down at the bottom, the fort has fallen. And they're now pushing the boss in a little bit further even. Now, to be fair, at the top side, the fort has also been eliminated. So there's that. But this is actually a pretty good play by Go Next. I have to say, it must be so frustrating for them right now. It must be insanely frustrating that they lost game number 2. Imagine this series. Imagine if they finished the core. The momentum that they have from going 1-1 after the second map with Chili Mountain, coming into Cursed Hollow, and then looking at the setup like this. They are starting to take a lead here. They're a bit behind experience, granted, but they're doing well in the team fights. And honestly, I feel if they take game number 2, they have a serious shot of winning the entire series. Now they're struggling. But Go Next, they are impressing. Game 1 wasn't theirs, no doubt about it. That was not really a good game for them. The draft didn't work out for them the way that they intended, and they had huge problems. But they're doing much, much better than I expected here. They are 7th place, and they are doing fairly well against Chili Mountain. And for CM, that is a bit of a concern, I'd say. The problem is, of course, that there's still a curse now hitting. I should be able to defend this, I don't want to say easily, but fairly well. They need to pay attention to the top keep in particular, as another minion wave is coming in. But off we go. Let's try and see how many structures they can take down. The goat, by the way, down here. Blade is already moving out. By the way, I gotta say, talking about goats, goat cheese on a burger. Ooh, baby, really good. Like over here, there's a lot of burger joints, and a lot of them have like goat cheese, and then you have a little bit of, I don't know what that fruit stuff is called, that red one. I'm not talking strawberries here, but yeah. Cranberries, I really don't know, it's something like that, a little bit sweet, but like just like the flavor contrast between goat cheese and a bit of a sweeter touch, absolutely amazing. So yeah, I can heavily recommend if you haven't tried it yet. Either way, this goat over here... Ooh, a big arrow, by the way. Oh, yeah, this one is going places. But down at the bottom, the fight continues, and it's a fort. The question is who wins the team fight, because Anuburak is dead already, and that might lead to a bit of a death spiral for Go Next, because they lost the fort, they lost Anuburak, they're losing structures in the middle and at the top, so that is getting real nasty. Yeah, the level 13 talent definitely didn't help either. So, yep, there's a talent advantage. Top side, that's where we're now having the fountain destroyed. And at the bottom, they also got Urel. Yeah, they came in for that cheese. They wanted some. And they got it. Okay. So, with all of that said and done, let's take a look at the damage output too. We got 22,000 for Hanzo. And 19,000 for Tracer. Okay. Well, at that point... Careful with... he died only once so far. There's a bunch of heroes that haven't died at all yet, but, well, let's go. Quick move into the mid lane. It's, of course, Chili Mountain that is starting to become quite dominant here again. I mean, they are rotating between the lanes now. They're very aggressive. They're far out in enemy territory, just dominating vision. And it seems like we're also soon going to see more plays over the bosses. Another 40 seconds until the top one is up. The one at the bottom of the map should spawn even faster than that. And yep, let's go. Urel at the bot lane. Yeah, Urel can sit on that lane until she's blue in the face, but I don't think they can close that gap as quickly as they want to. The level 16 should still be faster for Chili Mountain, and that's probably what they're worried about. They might feel forced into another quick boss move to prevent Chili Mountain exploiting a talent advantage. Greymane up at the top, Starzerk is there, but they are trying to gang up on him. The problem is that vision with the watchtower was taken earlier by Chili Mountain, so that's a problem. Another tribute is up, you can let one slide, but the bosses are now also both up in half a level until 16. Yeah, gotta close that gap quickly. It's not a huge one though, so there's at least something going on for them. And, well, let's go. 9 stacks for Muradin, by the way. It's not a whole lot, but they get the kill against Urel. Yeah, that one is a bit tricky now too, because that opens up so many possibilities. Not only does it drop the level 16 talents into their hands, they now can go for another tribute, they can go for the boss, and at this point, if you're the blue team, the only option that you have is try to get the boss at the bottom of the map, and of course that is very telegraphed, so Chili Mountain is already rotating Muradin down and says like, hello boys, and he's gonna try to slow them down. They are very likely not gonna get this one. Yeah, this is not happening. They're already falling back. They're realizing that this is just not going to be a thing. So now instead of taking that boss too, they can push at the top side without a problem, but that is a major issue right now. Yeah, that is... that is going to be difficult to stop. It's likely going to be top keep, and then you can still go for the boss at the bottom of the map. But yeah, early Odin. Getting popped right away. Urel, careful. Oh, what a setup with that catch on Malfurion, though. Muradin, the dwarf, is dead. Nice. A good kill against him. They might just be able to save that keep after all. Respect, baby. That's pretty sexy. That Muradin kill, whew, so good. That one was needed. And now they can take their own boss, of course. The dwarf is down, and it's those kills that they really need. Epic Enter has been taken on level 16, making Anuburak's burrow charge even more impactful as he epically enters the opponent's backline. And in addition to that, we got the sizzling attacks now in for a bit more auto attack focus. The interesting part is that he didn't go for the compact tactician, by the way, so he stuck it out with a grenade on level 7. Neo still coding on 13 for the extra survivability. 5 kills to 5. And it's time to party now, because they could now try to go for the keep at the bot lane. And that is a bit of a problem. Yeah, that is unfortunate. They saved the keep and now it's gonna fall. I don't even think that backward was necessarily needed, but he can easily come in, slam the keep down. So that forces the hand of Go Next. They need to get the keep at the bottom of the map. They need to go for this now. But losing this kind of hurts, and that's the problem when you don't have a global, when you don't have a Brightwing, a Falstad, a Dehaka or whatnot. You just can't keep someone on that lane to protect it and then join the rest of the team. So now they at least need to go and draw even. There's already the sacred ground. Sacred ground, and the goat is down. The arrow connects. Tracer zips away. Malfurion with a Twilight Dream, but oh baby, that is not the fight that they were envisioning here. The keep is down though, but how many are they gonna lose on the way back? Malfurion is dead, and they are being chased, and this is not looking good at all. Wit decides to commit Honorable Subaru here in order to save the rest of the team, but that kind of backfired a bit too, because everybody except for Tracer is dead now. The boss was trying to do some damage over here at the core, but it's of course not enough to drop it. And now the curse has been targeted. It's likely gonna be game. Go next. They had a good run here. They really had a good run, but now we got 9 kills to 5, and this is gonna be a 3-0 victory, guys. 3-0 victory for Chili Mountain as they drop Go next. Urel dying 4 times, 5 times. Certainly didn't help here. And this is the end of this best of 5 match. Good job by Chili Mountain. Big step in the ranking. And for Go next, they are now further and further down in the standings. GG. Well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.